Yo, yo, yo. That's such a weird intro. Stole that from Optic Scumpy. But, anyways, I'm back. Here on a Monday morning, I'm sitting in my car, not working because I left my important tools at home, so I'm waiting for someone to pull up on me and give them to me. But in the meantime, I thought I'd make a little bit of a follow-up video talking about my thoughts on social media. So yeah, let's just get right into it, I guess. So I watched a documentary or two the last couple days. One of them was called The Social Dilemma on Netflix, and it was very eye-opening. It kind of just put a lot of pieces together that I hadn't really put together before, but it makes a lot of sense. So it makes me want to not be on social media as much as I was before, just kind of after seeing all of it. There's a lot of competition between these social media companies to get your interest, and they'll do whatever it takes to make sure that you're scrolling as much as possible, that you're checking that site as much as you can, because the more you do that, the more they can charge ad companies to put advertisements up there, and that's how they make their money. Everybody thinks, oh, social media is free, there's no downside to it, it's a win-win, but when you're not being charged for something like that, there's always going to be a hidden downside. And that's what they do, is they track every single one of your movements, your interests, what kind of things you're into, and they're going to bombard you with as much of that as possible. So you're not really getting a diverse amount of information. That's one thing they talked about is, if you're a Republican and, you're into Trump, things like that, only thing you're going to get on your news feed is pro-Trump things like gun control, anti-Black Lives Matter. You're going to get a skewed version of reality and news. So that's one downside to it, is you're going to have your beliefs just reinforced, and you're going to be more close-minded to the other people's point of view, which has downsides just societally when you're only exposed to a certain stream of information, especially in today's day and age when social media is so pivotal. Obama kind of started it. I think he was the first president to have a Twitter, but when so much of it is through social media, it's a downside when you can just open up your phone and see whatever news you want to see. That's why all these politicians are trying to get as much of your attention as possible. They're gonna put up not fake news, but fake news spreads a lot more quickly than real news. So just kind of second guess, think about what you're seeing on Instagram, understand that it's not the truth. For the most part, some of it is, but that's why Trump talks about fake news so much, because they're competing to get you interested, to get you shocked, to get you scared. And fake news is a lot more attention grabbing than real news. So yeah, social media for me definitely fucks with my attention span. I just think about all the stuff that I could be doing if I wasn't on social media. I'd like to see how many hours I've wasted just mindlessly scrolling through the internet. It's good here and there for sure. It gives me a laugh or two, read something kind of interesting. But I see so many people just glued to their phones. It really makes me sad. I can definitely see where they're coming from, you just have so much information at the tip of your fingertips. But this kind of goes to a video that I watched where this guy was talking about why social media is ruining your life, because it fucks with your attention span. Instead of actually pursuing goals and doing what's good for you, getting that dopamine release, That's the chemical in your brain that it makes you feel rewarded. It's what released when you're accomplishing things, when you're doing things that are beneficial to you. You get that same release when you're scrolling through social media. So when it comes to actually doing things that are important for you, like studying or laying out goals for yourself, for me especially, and I know a lot of people get this, it can be so much easier just to open up social media and start scrolling. They design it so that whenever you swipe up on your feed, something new is going to come at you. It seems very like sci-fi almost, where you're just, sitting mindlessly taking in information, not actually thinking for yourself. And people don't stop to think about that. So that's why especially when I'm in public, when I'm with people, even when I'm with people that I don't know, I try not to just scroll through social media, because, you're being tracked all the time. I don't know if people know that. I'll get into that a little bit more later. But I just like to take some time just to think and just be present, because it can be so hard to do that nowadays with, you can have a podcast going while you're playing Tetris on your phone. You can be texting someone simultaneously, like all these different streams of entertainment. It can be mind-boggling. So when you finally have to sit down and focus on something, your mind is just all over the place. It wants that instant gratification. So that's pretty negative. Negatively impactful long term, for sure. And even if I'm not on social media, well, if I'm on my phone, I'll try not to be on social media. I have this thing called Brain Games, where it's teaching you math skills, language skills. I'll try to text someone, maybe read an article, but usually I just try to sit there. And I think I talked about this a little bit in my last video. It's definitely a double-edged sword. It's kind of ironic that it's called social media, because for people that are kind of on the fence as far as sociability goes, like it can be, without social media, they would probably, I can speak for myself, probably go out in public more and talk to more people. But instead of putting out that effort, which deep down is good for you, you just pull out your phone, swipe through Instagram, swipe through Snapchat, and that's really not that good for you. And yeah, like I said before, every single thing you do on social media is tracked. And a lot of people might not care about it. I don't care that much, but it is kind of freaky. The more things you see, the more dots you put together. They can track how long you look at a certain picture for. They can track your mood. They know if you're feeling happy, if you're feeling sad, based off what songs you're listening to, what articles you're reading on Google, and they'll send you ads based off that. They track every single thing you do. So like, I just got into protein recently, and I've just been getting protein ads back and forth all the time. It goes for everything. Just really notice how your feed changes day to day, and how it relates to things that you've looked up in the past. I started watching a show on Netflix called Cobra Kai. All of a sudden on Google, all the news articles are about Cobra Kai, which is cool, because they can show you what you're interested in and give you more of that. But it's kind of like a sinister side to it, like I said before about with political views and stuff. When they're just tracking, if you're a leftist and you're only looking up leftist things, they're going to show you anti-Trump shit. They're going to show you pro-leftist shit. And there's truth on both sides of both sides, for sure. I think I just said the same thing twice. But when you're only getting reinforced with the same opinion that you had before, you're only going to grow more hateful of the other side. You're going to not see where they're coming from. And that's why I try to, I see myself to be kind of center left. I don't agree with some left policies, far left, and I definitely don't agree with other right policies. But if I meet a Trump supporter online, or if I see one in person, I don't always like to go political, but sometimes I'll ask them, like, why do you support Trump? And a lot of the times they'll be like, oh, because he's better than Biden or Hillary. Like, they'll just automatically assume that, like, I'm pro-Hillary, I'm pro-Biden, and I'm anti-Trump, and I want to hate on them. And, I just really want to talk to them. I just want to see where they're coming from, because everybody has different views for different reasons. And, I'm sure if I was born in the household that they were in, I would probably have similar views. A lot of people just think that one side is right, one side is wrong. Trump definitely helps with some issues, for working class people. I don't know all the political ins and outs, but if you're a factory worker, if you're a military veteran, you're going to tend to lean more Trump, because he's pro patriotism. He's against people kneeling for the flag, which if you're a veteran, you're probably going to agree with, even though they're not doing it for the reasons that you're thinking. But like I'm saying, you're just getting constantly reinforced, and that's because of social media. And I think it's important to get out of that and actually talk to people. I feel like if you didn't have social media, you'd be a little bit less knowledgeable. You'd have to work a little bit more for your news, but it would be accurate news, and it wouldn't just be news that's reinforcing your biases. So yeah, everything's being pandered to you. You're basically just a product. Everything that you see is to get you hooked, is to get you back on that social media site. And they don't really care what's best for you. They don't really care, about what they're saying they care about. They want you to be more social, or they say they want you to be more social, but in reality, they just want you to be a guinea pig who's always on their site, who believes whatever they show you, so they can get your attention back. The way the notification system is, it's very attention grabbing, ding. The sounds are very pleasing to hear. It gets your focus. So, just next time you go on social media, think about why you're really on there. Think about what's actually happening and the downsides that it may have. The downsides being less attention, less focus, less social skills for sure. And yeah, I don't think you should abstain from it, but I definitely just think you should think about more of what you're doing, and maybe just not be on it as much as you can, because people go camping way less than they used to nowadays. People go out way less than they used to. And when they are camping, they need their social media. They need their Wi-Fi. They need to be posting, oh, I learned how to start a fire today. Oh, I saw a deer today. I understand that draw. You want to show people what you're doing, but focus on yourself. Focus on more the fact that you did it for yourself, and be in the moment. Like when you're camping, you don't want to be on social media. You want to be in the moment. So yeah, just take everything with a grain of salt and choose wisely, people. Scroll wisely. I will see you on the next one. Bye.